guys, Ryan Dossey, and in today's video, we're going to talk about why I think investors that are also agents struggle. And at the back half, I'm going to talk about if I think you should even get licensed rolling into 2025. Let's dive right in. My name is Ryan Dossey, if we haven't yet met, and I am the co-founder of SoldFast. So we have a retail brokerage that is in 11 markets, as well as a home buying business that serves those same metros. On top of that, I've ran something called CCF. It's my nifty t-shirt you see me wearing in most of these videos. That is basically, we teach real estate investors and agents how to go direct to seller and find deals off market. In the past, I shot a video on YouTube where I talked about should you get licensed or not. And in that video, I mentioned that I kind of think you have to pick which one you are first. Are you an investor? Are you an agent? And I am, I guess, doing somewhat of a retraction in that my view on that has evolved. Most investor agents make the mistake of going after what they want initially, not what's necessarily best for the seller. And that's why I think they don't end up buying many properties or listing many. Let's play this out. I reach out to you. I ask you to come out and make me an offer on my property. You make me an offer that's, $200K, and deep down I want 400. When I say, oh gosh, that's too low, you turn around and say, yeah, I think I can get you 400. You've lost all credibility with me. Like, why didn't you come out the gate with what was best for me versus lowballing me, offering half of what the property was actually worth, hoping that I didn't really know what I had? Inside of SoldFast, we really try to combat that by walking sellers through what we'd pay cash and what we think it's worth on the market as is, and really directing them in the direction that makes the most sense for them. If somebody has a property that it's like a hoarder situation, probably doesn't make sense to list that on the market. Flip side, if they have a beautiful home, it probably makes sense to push towards the listing if they're not in a rush and if, trading equity for an easy transaction really isn't their priority. I think that most of us got into this whole business of real estate to help people and to make money doing so. I think it's kind of gotten flipped in the real estate space that we tend to focus on what makes money, not what's necessarily best for the human beings that we're dealing with on the other end, which is, I guess, part of what I'm hoping to fix with videos like this. When we do direct mail campaigns as real estate investors, there are often opportunities that come out of that would be fantastic for listing. It's a place that's never going to sell for cash because the place is too nice, they owe too much, or they're not really in any sort of a rush. But often as investors, investor agents, we're trying to cram everything through this let me buy your house kind of lens. We have pulled tons of listings off of I'd like to buy your house for cash. And we've also pulled buys off of let me list your house. At the end of the day, I'm a big advocate of doing what makes the most sense for the sellers, not what's in the best interest of our pocketbooks. There are going to be times that a seller calls you and is 100% willing to sell for cash, but they don't quite know what the place is worth. I would rather educate them on what all of the options are that are available to them and let them make an informed decision versus hoping they don't check what Zillow says their house is worth. Flip side, I think agents often kind of do their own sketchy stuff. They overpromise on what they can sell the place for, like buying the listing, knowing they're going to have to knock it down quite a bit in order to get the sale done. The agent that even sold my primary in Florida when I moved came out the gate of hey, I think we can get 550. And I was like, dude, let's just list for 500. And he was like, oh my gosh, thanks. Well, no, you should have just told me what you thought it would really sell for from the get-go. So the typical investor agent leads with what makes the most sense for them, totally destroying their credibility. If you've watched this quick video with me, you're now going to lead with what makes the most sense for the humans that are reaching out to you, bolstering your credibility. You'll literally get reviews from people that don't do business with you, thanking you for the transparency. Which leads me to my next point of should you get your real estate license rolling into 2025? And I think the honest answer is it depends. If you're doing any sort of volume, having access to the MLS, being able to list your own places, there's a lot of real physical dollars that come off of that. If you're doing direct to seller marketing, being able to convert opportunities into listings that weren't going to go for cash, there's a serious financial benefit to that. Me personally, I don't know that I would go get my real estate license with the goal of becoming just a real estate agent unless I'm planning on marketing direct to seller, which 99.9% of agents aren't. They're just doing kind of the whole sphere thing and begging their friends and family. Depending on where you look on the internet, numbers differ between like 45 to 65,000 bucks as being the average what a real estate agent makes. That's nothing to turn your nose up at. I don't know that I would make that a career due to things like inconsistency, it being a little bit feast or famine, unless I'm planning on really going into it, doing things differently and building something great. I personally wouldn't be a real estate agent in 2025 if I was just shooting for the average of 45 to 65K. I'm a big proponent of getting licensed if you're also buying homes because it does add credibility. Hey, I'm licensed. Like, there are literal consequences here if I'm being shady or sketchy. If you are shady or sketchy, getting licensed is likely to cause you more problems. There's a reason a lot of states are starting to recommend, require, or even encourage things like disclosures on marketing if you're not licensed, or that you have to be licensed to do wholesaling, things of that nature. I do think it's a great way to future-proof the business. Obviously, I've got a brokerage that's in 11 markets, so I'm a little biased, but I'm not planning on getting out of the retail game anytime soon. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you feel like telling a friend, I'd appreciate it. Talk to you guys next time.